going to ask. And then he tells me this whole story and he goes, do you think that was a sign? I go, Yeah. And then all of a sudden, in my mind's eye, I saw this older woman in a green dress at a celebration. And I was like, do I say anything? Do I not say anything? And I go, nope, it's coming to me. I have to say it. So I did. And he was like, he didn't know what to say. I was like, please don't think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
How
He
many
thinks
people, you're not crazy. And how
No,
many
a few weeks
people,
ago, he told me that the dress his mom wore for his son's christening was exactly the way I described it. So,
isn't that amazing? Kudos
yeah,
to
yeah.
you for trusting your intuition. Oh,
Thanks.
here's something that I can almost promise you.
Okay.
I'm starting to see patterns in the numbers, and a lot of you are what I would call service souls because you're showing up and you're wanting to know more about your soul, but you're also wanting to know how you can serve and help and bring this energy out into the world, right? How many people on this webinar are awakening to more deeper concepts of spirituality or wanting to connect to spirit or wanting to cross over and touch the other side or just levels of consciousness, right? And I think that's so beautiful. And I think that everyone has to understand that what I do is unique in the sense because it's Larissa doing it, right? But let's say you said, well, I'm inspired by Larissa and I want to do exactly what she does. You can, but it will never be the same because it's your soul doing it. And I think the journey of a spiritual awakening is learning to awaken to what your soul is wanting to do and how to serve. So if you're resonating with me, there's something about what I do or how I teach or how I serve that's sparking energy within you.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
How many of you are just know things or you have a really deep intuition, a gut feeling about things? How many of you, your friends or your family, they just tell you their problems? They just dump everything on you, right? You're like, why is everyone telling me this?
And so,
How many of you feel that you're happy, life is good, but there's just something inside of you that's like,
oh my
just
God.
want more. I can't put my finger on it, but my
Absolutely.
God, I just
Every
want.
single day. Every single day.
Yeah, every single day. So it's interesting because when I started this journey, I, like you, felt all of those things. And I want everyone to just go back to 2010 actually was a mass awakening. I want you to think about 2010. I want you to think about what happened in your life. Was there tragedy? Was there job loss? What was the shift that occurred in your life? Because that's when a large amount of people had a big awakening. Did anyone experience anything in 2010? Do you want to share? Does anybody? It says bookkeeping, but I don't
Oh,
see
I'm
it.
sorry.
Would you like to share what you experienced?
Well, when you say that, like the big thing that happened in 2010 was, gosh, I don't know how to. I was laid off from a job and ended up getting a settlement through that job for the biggest amount of money that's ever come into my path. And it was like not life changing. Well, it was life changing money, but it wasn't like, okay, I'll quit my job, never work again money. But it was something that definitely was amazing at the time. And you said 2010, I was like, oh yeah, that was a big time in my life.
So would you say that that was a stream of abundance and wellness that you felt aligned to?
It was the best thing that's ever happened to me because getting laid off from that job, then I was so unhappy there. I started my business, which is in numbers. So yeah, the bookkeeping, the accounting, like I'm an accountant. So everything to me, numbers mean everything. So anyway.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what's interesting is she took the leap to leave and then a doorway opened for more possibilities. Unfortunately, we are all raised with, You have to work hard for money. Money doesn't grow on trees. If you don't work hard, you're not successful. We were raised this way. It's been embedded in us, but we're stopping that because energy is the currency and money is just an energy. And what happened is that she stepped into a stream of wellness, a stream of abundance. So because she had this financial cushion, she was able to launch her dream with less stress. And kind of that's what's repeating. So 2010 would be like a mass awakening. Now I want you to go back to 2016 because 2016 and 2025 are repetitive energy. So certain lessons, now I'm going to say this right now. If you lost a loved one in 2016, that does not mean you are losing a loved one in 2025, okay? Unfortunately, souls transition every year. We do not even go there. I'm talking about lessons. I am talking about challenges and opportunities, okay? So 2016 and 2025 are universal 9 years. Okay. Now, Universal 9 gets a really bad rap, really bad, because it's closure and completion, loss and transformation. It's expanding, it's evolving, but it's this energy of death and birth, gray area. You're not who you used to be. You're not who you want to be. You're closing 9 years of lessons and you're preparing for the next 9. Okay. So I always relate it to pregnancy. That pregnancy has to come to an end. You go through some pain and, you know, scary moments, but all throughout that pregnancy, you surrendered to a higher power that you would be safe, protected, and that your baby would be given to you healthy, right? You prayed on that. So you had to give up that control. And then when that birth happens, you are no longer the same. You have a brand new identity. That is the lesson of 2025, what you're being asked to do. So my goal for today is that if I can teach you what your karmic energy is, which is the challenge, which is really the gift, then we can birth something new into 2025. Because I believe you're all service souls. And I believe you're here to serve the masses in a very unique, beautiful way that's special to you. Now, here's the thing. I get the question all the time. I just want to live my purpose. I want to find my purpose. I just want to make sure I'm on the right track. How many people have said, I don't know what my purpose is? Okay. We're never saying that again, ever. Okay. Promise me.
Okay.
If you say, you smack your hand, be like, Larissa yelled at me, don't say that. Because purpose is not something you go and do. Purpose is your spirit and your soul being put into what you do. And the way that you live your purpose is by doing what you love, doing what brings you joy, what brings you confidence, what brings you a sense of peace and balance. Why did I choose numerology? Is it because numerology is better than astrology? No. Is it because it's better than Reiki? No. It's because I freaking love numerology. It's a passion of mine. It's been a part of my story since I was 16. So it was natural for me. So your purpose is lying within your natural talents and abilities. And the goal of 2025 is to expand your talents out. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my screen and let's just check the chat. You said that last night. So if anyone, because there's a lot of you, right? Robin, do you have a question? If you put your hand up, if I said to raise your hand, you can use the little hand and I'll see it. If you want to ask me a question, yeah. Okay, so it said, did the Zoom begin 10 minutes ago? Yes, 7 o'clock Eastern. We're just getting into it. We're starting. And we're gonna get going, okay? So let me just share my screen. And I gotta figure out how to move you guys around. Hold on. And I'm gonna present it here. Okay. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the theme of this lesson is how to transmute your karma into your gifts of service. Now, I have a feeling when I do this every month, it's always going to be different, right? Because the energy is different. You guys, different people are here. It's going to be different. So if you are on the first one, that's great. I promise you, you will learn something new on this one. the goal here is to understand that karma is not a debt that you must pay back. You weren't a bad person. You didn't do something wrong. This is the greatest challenge that your soul is facing, and you must transmute it. And when you transmute it using your talents and your gifts, then your karmic energy becomes your gift as to what you leave in this world. Now, let me share with you what mine is, just so I'll give you a little bit. Why are you here? Well, that's part of the reason why we're all here. My karma is to speak my truth and to share higher levels of truth with the world. And I'm doing that. Did they say I have to be a numerologist? No. Did they say I have to make videos on TikTok? No. But I did that because I love social media. I love the power of social media. I don't think I can go a day without making a video. I love the community and I love the numbers. So that is how I am using my interests to allow me to share my gifts with the world. So everyone has a soul contract, and this is where you're going to go to get it. If you don't have it, that's okay. We'll get it to you. If anyone is on a spiritual journey and they're looking to start, Larissa, where do I start? Because how many of you, show of hands, feel a little lost and you're going down this rabbit hole of, ooh, I should study this and ooh, I should study that. And there's a lot. Okay. So the law of attraction and the law of opposites would be my favorite universal laws, because to me, the law of attraction is the most famous because of the book, The Secret, the greatest secret, the magic. But really, when you start to study the law of attraction, you're going to come across Abraham Hicks and different other people who teach this, right? Dr. Joe Vitale, Dr. Joe Dispenza, these are all wonderful people. Wayne Dyer, excellent leaders in the field, Louise Hay. But the real truth of the law of attraction is the law of vibration. So in order to you to master the law of attraction, you have to understand that the law of vibration is two opposites. So if this is about wellness, then the opposite is, unwell, abundance, lack of abundance. But what that shows you is that whatever you are, if you are living the opposite of what you want, that's great, because guess what's on the other side of it? What you actually want. So if you want to manifest anything, you have to transmute it from where you are to where you want to be. It's one vibration. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So have you ever noticed that we tend to turn away from our biggest challenges that we're faced with in our lives? I want you guys to think of, what is your biggest challenge in life? Because it seems sometimes like the more that we're faced with it, it stirs up a lot of wounds or issues within us. And that's because we don't understand why we're having this same challenge over and over and over again. And we start to think there's something wrong with us. But if we understood our spiritual map of life, then we can see, okay, it's very clear and we can overcome it. So, show of hands, this is pretty beneficial information, right? Yeah. Okay. How many of you, right, have had a reading with me? Yes. Okay. So again, my goal is that at the end of this, if you decide you want to have a reading with me, I'll be honored to do it. But my goal is that you walk away here feeling like, okay, I can take the next steps and I'm going to be able to do this tomorrow. All right. So obviously, if you want a reading, that's always available to you. So the answer that you're searching for needs to stop. You need to stop searching. The search is over. If you tell the universe, I'm searching for my purpose, the universe will go, great. That's amazing, BJ. That's amazing, Michelle. Keep searching. I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. That's wonderful. Let's give her more reasons to be frustrated. I mean, listen, I hate to use this word, but I know I say it about myself. I hate my body. I hate my body. I hate my body. Right? Let's give her more reasons to hate her body. So you are the answer that you're searching for, because what I'm trying to show you is that you are in control of what you speak and what you create. So if you leave this webinar with nothing other than you must stop the negative talk. Now, when we understand the blueprint of our soul, there's 4 things that's going to happen. You overcome your karma, you ignite your talents, and you have a lot more courage to share these talents, which then gets you to your goal, which helps you feel successful, which helps you feel aligned, which in reality gives you your purpose. Okay? Simple as that. This is the Star of David, and this is the star chart, the star of which we put your energy around, creating your aspects. So if you guys can see, okay, we have 2 triangles, one going across and going down. It's hard to draw. This is the physical kind of energy, which is the earth vibration, which is what you must do in the physical. Okay. It's not, and it's also about you trying to figure out how to fit into the physical world. And then we go into the second triangle, which somewhere around the age of 35 to 42, the spiritual gifts will be activated. So I want you to think about when you were 30, it could be a little earlier, depending on how in tune you are. But I want you to think about the ages of 35 to 42, because it is the hardest 7-year stretch that the soul is going to go through. And that is a huge shift where your soul is awakening to something much bigger. So when I look at that, all of my major life trauma, challenges, setbacks, whether that was in my friendships, my business, raising my children, losing parents, grandparents, friends, marriage, money, all of it was between 32 and 42. Yes, do you still have problems now? But it seemed to be during those 7 years the most intense time. By a show of hands, can anyone relate to that? Yeah. Okay. And, this is right, Amy. This is when we're building our families, we're building our careers. So it is a difficult time. When you get into the age of 42, the soul starts to soften up a little bit, and it's not so hard. It's not so attached to the earth vibrations anymore. And it starts to move into the spiritual karma, the spiritual talents, and the spiritual goals. So you're halfway there, which is wonderful, right? It's not like this stuff, physical stops, spiritual starts. It's all going on together, but one is taking more importance. So how are we doing so far? Any questions on this? We're good? Okay. So who would like a little reading right now? Who would like to volunteer? Let me see if I can view all of you. Who would like to unmute? You gotta have to put your hand up because I can't really see you guys.
I'll do it.
Lisa, you want to do it?
Of
Oh,
course.
all right, Miss Lisa. So do you have your chart in front of you?
I do.
Okay. So Lisa, tell me what your physical karma is. And for everybody that is watching, I want you to focus on your physical karma and put it in the chat what your number is so that I can see how many we have. And if we have a large amount of one particular physical karma, and then I'll pull you up for a reading too. Okay. So Lisa, what is your physical karma?
Physical karma is a 5-5.
Okay. Of course it is. So my physical karma is a 5-5 as well. How many people have a 5-5 physical karma? It's a very rare and unusual aspect for the karmic position. So right there, Lisa, you're rare. However, knowing that she has a 5-5 in her physical karma, I know she is here to speak her truth. I know she has a extreme sense of intuition. And I know that when she's able to speak and put herself in a position of authority, speak her truth and help other people, taking intangible concepts, making it tangible, it grounds her and she feels secure and she feels rooted She's a pioneer. She's courageous. Lisa, when you were younger, would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So tell me, when you were younger, were you ever judged or persecuted for speaking your truth?
Yes. All the time.
How did that feel and how did that show up for you?
Oh my God, it made me so angry because I was like, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying.
So
And
let me
everybody would tell me, just give me proof. And I'm
give
like,
you,
I
right.
just know. That was
I
my,
just
just
know.
know.
So let me see something here for a second. Okay. There's the chat. Um, does anyone else? So we've got 997744. We got a nice little wide variety of numbers. Very nice. April 22/4. So we're gonna get into this, but I can tell you right now, when you have a 22/4 in your chart, anywhere, you are coming to the end of your incarnations, which means you will then become a teacher or doing your work from above. So a lot of people don't know if they like that. I have to be really careful. And I'm not saying that you'll never come back, but it's almost like you're at a point of completion. Does that make sense to you, April? Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is right away with the 5-5. And just one more thing about Lisa. So you say, okay, Larissa, that's great. That's great. She knows she's supposed to do these things. She knows she's supposed to speak her truth. How does she turn that into a gift? Well, the fives are the voice for those who don't have a voice. They are the teachers. They are the leaders. They are the truth speakers. So, whatever Lisa does in her profession, she would be a wonderful mentor. She would be a wonderful facilitator. Also, great networking. Lisa, what are some of the things that you want to do?
Not cry right now.
Why?
Um, because I was presented with something that I was so on the fence with doing just this week. And I was
Tell
like,
us, tell
I
us.
I was like, I don't know if I'm capable of doing this. So my friend, um, I'm sorry. My friend, she has a nonprofit organization, and what she does is she helps children all over Staten Island. That's where we live, and it's usually children that have horrible diagnoses with cancer and all kinds of things. And now she asked me if I wanted to be on the executive board, and I was like, I would absolutely love to, but I really need to sit down and make sure I know what I'm getting myself into before I do it. And this was like, now that you said this, it's like, okay, I need to just call her and say yes.
Would you feel so? Here's the thing, right? We think purpose means money, but it's not. It's
No,
making
this is a completely volunteer situation.
and it's making a difference, right?
It's making a difference for a lot of little children who have cancer, and their families.
So I'm going to read you something else about the 5-5. It is the ability to hear the energy, the voice of God, and then to speak it into existence, to take a firm stance on what is right in the world and speak your truth, to plant your feet and make your mark and become a part of something much bigger. So the 5 is a very sensitive number. It's one of those numbers where a lot of people, because I have fives all over my chart and I have a dominant 5, people will think Larissa's so confident. Guys, if you really knew me, I am a sensitive, mushy sap. Ask April. I cry all the time. She's in my BJ, right? I'm crying all the time. I have a membership community and I do readings in there, right, Chris? I'm always crying. Um, I always feel like I just feel things. So I just want to let you know, like, what you see is not always what's on the inside. And I think that's what you have to understand about the 5 is that the 5 has to get their truth out. Um, does anyone else have 5 anywhere else in their chart while we're talking about the 5s? Catherine, Tracy, hi, Carrie. Debbie, you have a 5? Debbie, where's your 5? Just you could yeah.
Mine, oh, sorry, physical goals.
Okay, so physical goals. So let's go back. Let me see. Can you guys see the star anymore or no?
No,
Okay, hold on. Let me see something here. I lost it.
I really need to mute myself so that.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the share. Where did it go, guys? All right, hold on. Let's find it. I am not tech savvy, ladies. I must have shut it off. Okay. Now I got to go back. See, I'm learning, guys, and I'm not getting nervous. This is life. This is what happens. It is what it is, right? What are we gonna do? Okay, so let's go back. All right, now we can see it. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, unmute yourself for a second. So I want everyone to see something. So she has it in the physical goals, yeah? Okay. So this is where I find it all very interesting because what I'm talking about with Lisa is her greatest challenge, where these two connect. So let me go over the 5, for example, because I really want to show you how they relate to each other, but they're in different positions. This is like a good lesson, I guess, let's say. But let me just get my notes real quick. And my glasses, right, April? Because I try to read without glasses and then I don't know, 48 and I need glasses, ladies. Okay. So the thing about the 5-5 is we'll talk about when it's in different positions. So in the physical karma, it's an unusual spot to have it. And it means that in a past life, the soul was unable to make their mark on the world. They were unable to find their place in society, which is interesting because I'm sure Lisa can agree with me. I have always felt like a round peg trying to fit myself into a square, no, a square peg into a round hole. I've always felt like I was different or I was liked by a lot of people, very social butterfly. I have the gift of gab. You know, I went to Catholic school. They used to put my desk out in the hallway and tell my mother I would never shut up. So I've been talking my whole life. But I always just felt like there was something different about me. And when we understand that the 5-5 has to make their mark, it's very important. Otherwise, they are going to be spaced out, ungrounded, kind of all over the place. And Debbie, Lisa, it doesn't matter. Wherever it is, we still have to make our mark. And the goal here is to learn and understand intangible concepts. So we are the spiritual seekers and the spiritual teachers, right? Because we're learning the intangible concepts and we're relating it out into the world. Now, with the physical goals, which is also great for Lisa to learn, you are here, ready, Debbie? To use your intuitive gifts and abilities. And how dare you not think that it's actually a real gift? Because when it's in the gold position, it happens so naturally that you dismiss it to be real. And you say, oh, yeah, it can't be real. It's not big enough. Intuition is just something we all have. No, intuition is the connection to source. So it is a real gift. Am I right, Debbie? 100%. Yep. So you are here to use your intuitive abilities in some way, shape, or form by teaching, serving, or expressing. Okay? So you don't have to be woo-woo and burn incense and go to yoga every day to be spiritual. Look at Louise Hay. She was one of the most spiritual people you could ever meet. Wayne Dyer. Spirituality looks different, but you have to bring your spirit out. Debbie, you're very gifted. Lisa, you're very gifted. And the more you open up this channel, the stronger it's going to get. So, to become a teacher of spiritual teachers at the highest level, very positive. They are here to open up their soul to a vast variety of wealth and information and knowledge from source and share this energy out to those who cannot hear it. Okay, Debbie, we can go home. Now you know your purpose. We're done. So, okay. So who else would like to? So you see how they connect, right? But when it's in the karmic position, it's going to be harder for Lisa because it's a bigger challenge. Does that make sense? So Debbie, unmute yourself for a second. Are you a spiritual baddie or closet spiritual baddie?
Yeah,
Tell us.
Mhm.
What do you do?
I am, but I don't know. I have my hands in everything, numerology, astrology, near-death experiences. I'm down every rabbit hole there is, and it just comes out to people, but I think nothing of it, or, it just, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, okay.
So I can relate to that. Okay. I got certified in Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and all these, which I always say Reiki is like the spiritual, gateway drug. It's the start of all spirituality because it's so important that we understand energy. If anyone's on a journey where they want to share their spirituality with people, it's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Your spiritual gifts, your purpose is not for your friends and family at first. They'll come eventually, but it's for the rest of the world. It's for the community that doesn't even know you exist.
Mm.
And I promise you, my cousins, my crazy Italian cousins on my cousins chat, they still make fun of me as their odd cousin, but they all want their charts now. They don't make a purchase without asking me about the numbers. When I showed up on social media as goddess giving, which is give to the goddesses, right? That's my purpose, to give to you. Almost 1 million people said yes to that. If you build it, they will come. It's really that simple. So here's my advice to anybody walking a spiritual path. I want you to pick 3 things that if you and I went to a diner, because I love diners, and we're getting eggs, bacon, coffee, we're just going to hang out for a couple hours and we're going to talk about things. What do you feel most confident talking to me about? What do you have an interest in? What would you be like? Did you see this? Oh my God, the moon, this, that, whatever it is. And understand that that's where you start.
Mm.
Okay? That makes sense?
It does.
Okay, perfect. So let's keep going. Okay, so actually, you know what? Let's go back. Who has a physical talent of 9-9? Who has the 9-9? I saw the 9-9 in the chat. If you have a 9-9 in your chart, can you unmute? Or did I
I have a 9-9, but it's in physical karma.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
have
can who else has it? Amy?
physical karma.
Okay, anybody else have a 9-9?
I do.
Where?
Physical talents.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I want everybody to look to the right and to look to the left because we've got some powerhouse women in this webinar. The 9-9 is one of the strongest energies in the entire chart, but most of the times that soul spends their life giving their power away, whether they're giving it to friends, family, coworkers, spouses. They tend to reject their power and they tend to live a life of disempowerment, especially as children, where they feel they're being controlled. So, who would like to share my 9-9s where you have experienced a level of disempowerment in your life?
I can.
Go ahead, Chris.
My whole first marriage of 20 years, I was completely controlled and didn't realize it until after my divorce.
That's and do you remember the moment when you took your power back?
August of 2006. August 2006. Yeah.
So my 9s, this is also a 9 universal year, right? So I want you this to be your superwoman kind of theme. And this is your year where you will take your power back because the 9 is unstoppable when they are aligned with their power. So what does that mean? So we've got physical karma 9-9 and we've got the dragon energy going on. It's very much Leo energy and it is to feel and surrender to the power of above. It is to accept your power and one spiritual power. So it's to accept the physical power and the spiritual power. It is to not misuse your power. And to not use your spiritual gifts is a misuse of power. They are here to express their feelings of disempowerment, to claim their power back that they have given away, and to misuse power of the unconscious energy comes from being silenced and not using it correctly. A lot of energies in this, a lot of souls have blocked creativity, and they do not trust themselves as a spiritual channel. These people basically can do anything. They are the power of God incarnate. They are extremely, extremely creative souls. So in the karma is unwilling to accept the power. And the only way out of that is to accept it. In the talent position, you are what we would call a catalytic energy, where you are here to serve other people. And the theme is, as I serve, I will be served, and to kind of bring people together. So like, someone who's in charge of a group. Amy, what do you do for a living again?
I work in IT.
Okay, so not really spiritual.
I do have a lot of spirit though.
But you do, and I know we had our reading. So what's it been like since we had our reading? Because we talked about those nines.
Yes, it's actually been good. I've been doing a lot more writing, poetry writing. The writing that we talked about too. So
Are you going to publish the book?
I already I have.
But did you say you're working on another one?
I'm working on another one, yes. Yep.
So Amy has a published book, which is amazing. Congratulations. And what is the title of it?
It's called Mindful Whispers, and then it's a journey through life's moments.
And can we get it on Amazon?
Yes.
All right. So everybody check that out if you feel called to support Amy. She's a beautiful soul, and she has a really beautiful gift. She's very powerful. So here we go. I'm going to go over I want you to look at your chart. We're going to start to look at the symbols, okay? So this way we could all get a reading. So the symbol of the 1, which can show up as 10-1, right? A lot of times people will have it as a 10-1. I have not come across anybody yet who has it as a 1. I've only seen it as 10-1. Anyone, how many have 10-1s? Nobody? Okay. Oh, Chris does? Okay. So 10-1 is stability, power, and unity. But the soul will always search for stability in their lives, when in reality, they're the ones that have to kind of create it. The soul will feel like they're having the rug pulled out from underneath them, and they have to put everything back together. So they have this very yo-yo kind of life. But the goal here is to build a solid, balanced foundation and become inner stability so that you have outer stability. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, it's interesting because I guess in the chart, it looks like it's sideways, but it should be standing up for this sign right here. Oh, wait, go back. Let me get my pen. So this is, it shouldn't be this way. It should be straight up. And this is the active paternal action energy. It is all things emotions. It's all things highs and lows. So if you look at the cushion, right, you're going high, then you have a big low, then you're going high, you have a big low. And so the life seems to feel like a roller coaster of very mood swings, very sensitive, and very stuck, like kind of tunnel vision. And this is what you'll see with the 2. So you'll have it as a 2-2, or you'll have it as an 11-2. How many people have 11-2s? No? Okay. And the goal here with this symbol, if it's on your chart, is you are here to build emotional resiliency. You are to adapt and spring into action. So you don't want to lay in emotional pain and turmoil. You have to adapt and spring into action. This symbol is the inner canal. And this is deep, deep, deep knowledge, but this is the number of wealth. So it's associated with 3, okay? And 3 would be the gift of communication. But the soul can only have true wealth and abundance when they feel that they are worthy of it. So the wound with this symbol is unworthiness. We call this the communicator of self-love, self-care. It's wealth, self-worth, inner acceptance, and then relating it back out into society. If you have this symbol on your chart, you are going to have money issues for most of your life, because the money issues are actually an outward kind of reflection of what's going on in the inside, okay? How many people have those threes on their chart? Yeah. Who would like to speak on that? Anybody want to say anything about those threes? Just unmute yourself and then I can see you.
My
No?
3 is in the physical goals. It's 12-3.
It's a 12-3. Okay. So the 12-3 is it's more about like expansion, absorption and expansion out. So you're here to learn and expand it out and be somebody who teaches and communicates. It's about balance expansion. Your goal is to have a steady stream of wellness and wealth. You're not going to have a lot of highs and a lot of lows. That's not going to work for you. It's too exhausting. It's too emotionally painful. So if you are a 12-3, you really got to focus on getting these emotions out and balancing your energy. Now, this is the symbol of the 4, which is this one right here, is duplication. Okay. A lot of people with duplication, they will have a lack of trust in flow, in things working out. They're here to share themselves and they're here to have children because they're here to learn unconditional love. This is the symbol of a very rigid life. At times, the soul is always waiting for something to happen. They don't go out and create, when in reality, they're supposed to trust and have faith and master a system of abundance and then duplicate it by teaching it and sharing it. Okay. So that's pretty interesting because I have 4s in my chart. And it's interesting because when everything was going on with TikTok, right? I actually was not upset. For the first time in my life, I looked at that 4-4 in my chart and I said, okay, I could freak out, I could hustle, or I can surrender and just trust that everything's going to be okay. And this really helped me because I'm aware that this is my greatest challenge. Okay. Now this is the 5s. We talked about that. That's the ability to hear spirit, speak truth, and use your intuitive powers. So the only way to activate that symbol is to accept yourself as a spiritual pioneer and a speaker of truth and to help others who cannot speak for themselves. This also is supposed to go straight up. I'm going to have to work on these, but this is the convertible knot and it's the 6. So it's the 6-6 or the 6, or it could be the 15-6. And this is the master manifester. This is taking a thought and turning it into something that you believe in as an idea. It's ADHD, it's creativity, and it's focus. I know if you have 6s, you could have been an artist, you could have been a singer, you could have been a painter. It's a very creative number. Carrie, you have a question? You could just unmute.
I have it. It says 5 under that symbol. 5-5, not 6.
Which one?
The symbol you're showing that's sideways, but upside down. Hold on, I gotta go back and forth. That middle. Oh no, yeah, I'm onto the wrong
This is
one.
5. This is 5.
Yes, that one's 5. Okay, I'm on the wrong
Yeah.
one. Sorry.
It's okay. Where do you have that?
The 5-5 I have in life purpose, spiritual qualities,
Very nice.
soul destiny, spiritual talents.
You got a lot of 5s.
I
I
got a
can't
lot of
wait to do
5s.
your chart, girl.
I can't wait either.
So the 6 is learning how to take baby steps and have a very planned out map towards achieving your goals. And the thing about the 6 that's interesting is that you need to see the reward. Okay. So you're going to want to see it from other people. Yes. But you need to create that list, create that order, create that progress chart, and be proud of every step as you go and you achieve your goals, because it's about becoming practical, turning your ideas into reality, focusing all your ADD energy and creating something. Otherwise, you're scattered, stubborn, rigid. You do things half-ass, incomplete, complete blocked energy, anger, and frustration with a really bad temper. Yeah, I have some 6/6s.
I do have 6/6s as well, I realize.
I used to get really pissed off when my star chart wasn't complete, guys, when I was a little girl. I can tell you that much. My poor mother with that star chart. I never had stars on it. So this might be one of my favorite signs. And as I'm starting to come to learn more and more about the symbols, this would be the 7, and it's love in action. It's opening up the heart, living from the heart, healing the heart, and being the bridge, in my mind, of the spiritual and the physical world through love. It's what I would call love in action. But if you have it in the karmic position, you live a life where you're out of control, indecision, you don't feel confident in your choices, and you're kind of hiding and living in dreamland. Okay. The opposite of that is to open up the heart, heal the heart, and live from the heart, and live a life that is full of things you love. So it's the link that unites. But when it's in a negative, it's a masked energy, very misunderstood, very isolated. I have 7/7 in my chart. Very controlling at times. They want to control all the variables in their lives, and they feel like they're living a lie. So if you have 7/7s, at some point in your life, you have dealt with imposter syndrome very, very badly. And I can relate to that. But what happens is when it is ignited into the positive, you become charismatic. You become really decisive, authentic, authority. You are a constant creator, constant communicator. People will say you're the most authentic person. Oh my God, like you're just so magnetic. People just be drawn to you, and you become a facilitator, and you become a guide. It's a very beautiful number. Now, we go into this energy, which is the 9. Okay. And the 9 is a serpent. It's resistance and protection. Resistance and protection. It's a
Hold
power.
on.
Yeah,
Question.
you go.
Mine says 10
For what?
for
Oh, I'm
that
sorry. I'm
symbol.
sorry. I circled the wrong one. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Wait a minute. I
You
skipped
skipped
the
8.
number. My God, Larissa. Okay. I'm going
Okay,
this
now we're
way.
good.
Thank you, ladies. I haven't eaten dinner. My stomach's getting a little hungry. Sorry. I had a long day. Listen, I'm not complaining, but I've been doing about 3 readings a day, which is pretty exhausting. But, you know, you start to feel spacey after you do all this energy work. So I think I'm going to have to dial it back to 2 because energetically it's exhausting for me. So. But I feel good. I made it a point to make sure that like after my readings, I like washed away the readings, and now I'm fresh for you guys, so I'm here. But I apologize. I don't know why I read that wrong. Okay, so go to the 8. This is elementary existence. It's like an amoeba, okay? And you can look at it in 2 ways. How many people have an 8 in their chart? How many people have an 8-5 combination? 8s and 5s. So the 8s are extremely sensitive, okay? Like super sensitive people, super emotional, very empathic, but like they don't like to cry, they don't like to show their emotions, they don't like to kind of let anyone know, but when they do, they're like a faucet. They don't even know why the hell they're crying anymore. It just comes out of them, okay? And it's this energy that the if it's not properly handled or balanced, the emotions, you become emotionally dead inside or emotionally frozen. Okay. This is about the mind, body, soul connection. And when the 8 is in the talent position, it's about grounding, making your mark on society, connecting with people, and your spirit affects their aura. Okay. or they are able to bring their aura into you for healing. It's a beautiful number. And when we go into the opposite, right, it's ungrounded, a lot of root chakra issues, very unclear. You don't have a lot of emotional boundaries, so you can attract a lot of narcissistic relationships. Have you heard the term energy vampires? If you have eights, you probably have a bunch of energy vampires sucking your energy out of you or dumping their energy onto you, and you're just taking it. But when it's in the highest aspect, you are here to help people look after their bodies and to blend their body, mind, and soul and enjoy a very earthly life by making your mark on society and becoming known for something in a certain area, craft, or like zone of genius. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to the 9. And the 9 is the serpent. It's the resistance of power. So it's a life of disempowerment to power. It's a life where you are being controlled, but then you can also be very controlling. Okay. So this is where you got to be very careful. You can manipulate, you can use your power for forces for evil. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be very, very careful with those 9s. You can come off arrogant, cocky, conceited, right? That would be the other extreme of this. You have a lot of influence when you have 9s, and you have to use that power to be a catalyst for transformation and change. So do not resist the power, because if you do, you're going to live in victim consciousness, that kind of energy with no boundaries. And the way to promote this is surrender to spirit, stay grounded, and enjoy the power of every moment that you are in complete control. Does that make sense? Okay. Now we go into the 10s. And the 10 is manifestation of God. And this is the blending of the female and male aspects. So a lot of people with 10s will have, they might live in one versus the other. They might come off too masculine or too feminine, and they don't honor each side, because this is the manifestation of God, service to intuition. It's another intuitive number. And they will either deny God, will deny their spirituality, but the goal is to be of service to others through their God-given gifts. If you have a 10, you are what I would say somebody with extreme spiritual wisdom. Like your soul has ancestral roots deep within them, and they're connected. Who has 10s? Just Chris? Let me see if I can see anybody else. Here, I can't really see you guys all. The problem with this number is you will feel like you're living a lie, in the sense of you are unbalanced, overthinking, super critical, super judgmental of yourself. And you'll never come out into that manifested world. You're supposed to manifest heaven on earth with this number. Really. Am I making sense? Because I feel like I want to make sure everybody's getting to understand these numbers a little bit. But if you have other questions or you want me to do a different direction, I can go in a different direction too. I'm going to go a little faster. This is the 11, the 11-2. The 11 is simulation and structure. How many people have this symbol? No, I have this one. Takes us a little bit longer to learn things. We're a little thick-headed. It's not that you're not intelligent, but it's hard for you to grasp things at first because you want to know every step. So I'll give you an example. When I was learning this, I got really overwhelmed and I thought I was making a mistake because I didn't see how this was going to fit into my life. How am I going to teach this? How am I going to share this? So it's very hard for the 11 to stay in the present. It's very hard for them to assimilate and create a structure. So what they're trying to do is to learn something and then create at the same time, which is very hard to learn and create at the same time. You have to slow down. And 11s have to learn to slow down. They have to learn to breathe. And they are here to not be lost. They're here to create a structure of truth, and discern and live according to their truth. Now, this is the number where a lot of people with the 11 will have near death experiences. They will have a lot of bereavement, a lot of loss around them, whether that's jobs or actually people or moving. A lot of military kids have an 11 where they're constantly feeling like they have to start over, like because it's the symbol of death to life. And what happens is, depending on where you have this, you will always feel like you're recreating a new identity. You will not be like, hi, my name is Larissa, and I did this for 50, 45 years. Like, this is not happening because the soul is looking for rapid transformation through their challenges. I have an 11 too in my spiritual goals. And if you have this symbol, you are here to learn an intangible concept, learn a system, and then based upon your spirit, your energy, you are to create a structure, a new structure of truth where other people can learn and grow based upon your beliefs. Isn't that cool? When I saw that that was in my spiritual goal, I said I never have to question, am I doing the right thing ever again? Because I am, because I have the 11 too. Who wants to share what they have in their spiritual goal that hasn't shared? No? Nobody? You can unmute Pam. Oh, she doesn't have her chart though, I don't think. Go ahead, Catherine.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Oh, you figured it out, Pam?
I figured it out. I got it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you have in your spiritual goal?
My spiritual goal. Is that this talents?
That's the very top of the chart.
Oh, 14 to 5.
14.5. Okay, so the 14, that's a little intense. It's reflection. So it's reflection and intense relationships, learning self-acceptance through relationships. So you learn through people, and you are here to use people to grow on your journey. You must learn to slow down, and you must take time to yourself so you can learn how to accept yourself. The 14, and then let me see if I can find the symbol for it. Hold on a second. So this is the symbol for it, right, Pam? This one right here. Yes? Okay, perfect. So it's reflection, and what it is a mirror. The soul really is not taking a stance on anything. Their goal is to reflect out. So they have to understand that the shadows within are coming out. They have to make sure that they're not learning from other people and then reflecting out, that it has to come outward. I want to share that one a little bit more. I have some notes on that one. This is the symbol of an etheric individual existence. This is the image of a reflected being. You are a multidimensional being. You are the mirror of the cosmos. You are the mirror where others can see hidden parts of themselves for the first time within your soul. So you reflect back to people what they need to see, what they need to learn, and what they need to heal. Does that make sense, Pam?
It does actually.
Wow. Tell me what
Yeah.
that's like for you.
It's hard to say. Hard to. It makes sense when you said it. Now I'm on. I don't.
Let me
I
ask
don't
you a
know how to.
question. Would you say growing up or even now that people just relate to you and you see, sorry, you see a little bit of yourself in every single friend, every single family member, like you just have this constant connection with people, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
would you say that a lot of your relationships have been intense?
You mean in a good way or a bad way?
Either.
Or just either or? Well, I was with my husband for like 30 years. That was an intense relationship.
Yeah.
We're separated now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have the reflection, what's happening is you're living your energy and you're living your partner's energy. It's like this mirror. They just are bouncing off of each other. So the goal is to learn to only reflect what's coming out of you, not to take what other people are giving you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep.
All right, Pam, I hope that helped. Now, if I got to go back, let's go back and we'll go a little faster. So this is the expansion number, which I just talked about, which is balancing. Okay, this is the 12, and it's about learning that you're not going to have a life that's fast and furious. You're not here to do anything quick. You're here to balance. You're here to go slow and steady wins the race, because if not, you're going to get out of balance. If you have a 12, many people have shy energy with the 12s. Their absorptions, expansion, they're here to love and learn how to balance love out into the world. I don't have any 12s in my chart. Okay. Clearly, I'm not a shy soul. If you have 12, you're shy. You've got some shy energy on you, without a doubt. All right, let's go this way. So we did the 14. This is the 13. Whoopsie. And it looks like water, and that's the mother energy. And unfortunately, if you have the 13, a lot of these souls will have some mother wounds. You know, a lot of times we talk about the father wound, right? You hear people talk about the father wound, but you don't really hear people talk about the mother wound. And what that means is, for some reason, you may have not been respected, or your needs were not met by the females in your life. This is the symbol of unconditional love. And what happens is a young soul will
Oops.
have been denied that. Okay. They'll be denied love in some ways. And they are here to tap into the divine feminine and be a beacon of divine love in this world by opening up to the feminine energy in all its aspects. Where a lot of people with the 13 will feel that being open makes them weak and vulnerable, when in reality, that's their superpower. They must embrace love in all forms. Okay. And then we did the 14. Now we have the 15. Hold on one second. Sorry, hold on one second. In a class. My husband is actually in Dubai right now. So he's getting ready to fly home. So he's probably telling me he's on his way to the airport, and I feel bad. But I told him I had a class. He's gotta wait, right? Sorry. Okay. So we have the 15, and this is feeling God within, and that you are an extension of God, and not denying God. It is understanding that you're going to feel like you're going around and round and round in circles your entire life until you realize that you are one with God. You are here to be an adventurer. You are here to travel, experiencing different cultures, because this is a very restless energy, very insecure at times. So through your exploring the world, you will find your divine power. This is being one with God. And when we go in here, this is the Capricorn energy, and it's material meaning. So this soul has to bring meaning from the spiritual space. They are here to not refuse spirit, like a caged soul. They must allow spirit to flow through them, move past their denial of spirit and their physical attachment. They have to really, this one is the 16. They have to ground spiritual energies into the earth plane in some way, shape, or form. They must open to love. So these are my spiritual teachers, without a doubt. We have a lot of spiritual energy here, which is good. All of it is spiritual because it's the spiritual map of life. And when we go into this number right here, this is the number of speech, and you become the mouth of God. This is slavery and mastery, restriction of speech. Like, so at some point, these souls were very controlled, and they have a fear of speaking, but they have to gain the freedom to speak their truth and step into the community as a leader. They are here to really speak their existence. How many people have that symbol?
What number is that?
So that is going to be 17, right? Is that 17? Yes, that's 17. And they are here to express themselves in society, to no longer suppress their emotions. They are here to relate to society and speak freely and write freely. So they have to write and create physical material for other people to benefit from their words and their wisdom. And then when we go into the 18, right here, this is the solution. You are the decision maker. You have the final say. This is very much a number of like a boss. Like you have to not be afraid to make a mistake. You have to not be afraid to hold yourself back. You are here to be the final say, to complete big projects with the 18, choosing to follow the path to come to a peaceful solution, and to heal your unworthiness. That's that. And then we're gonna go into the last section, which is, this is probably one of my favorite signs. And at first I didn't really understand it, but this one really gets me. It's 19. So 19 is holding space for spirit. It's creating space out of spiritual energies for others. It is about you understanding that your in complete existence is to create material, spiritual tools to, use their energy, their mind, their power, their sense of humor, very funny people, and create a space where others can transform. So it's like people come in and they completely transform as a result of what you're here to share. And then we have 20, which is movement. This soul will forever be moving. They are the energy of war and peace. They are here to provide solutions for conflict, but it only can happen when they heal the inner conflict. They are explorers, lifelong explorers, very flexible people. They tend to go with the flow. They are here to get out of their rigid belief systems, end the war, and live in peace, and balance exploration towards peace. So this is inner conflict. How many people have the 20? Nobody has 20. All right. This is interesting, this one. This is 21. And
Wait, Larissa, can we go back? I have 20 in physical talents.
so you have it in your talent. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, this is what you have. So you have a 20/2?
Yes.
-2, yep. So in the talent system, it's because you actually have the ability to move. You're a mover and a shaker. You cannot sit still. You will not have one position. You're constantly looking for new ways of living. But this will only happen when you get out of your rigid body, your rigid beliefs that you were told, false narratives. This is how you have to be. This is what it is. You have to get out of that. And then the goal would be to be an explorer, giving peace to others. So you're here to provide comfort and peace and balance for other people in their very chaotic life. Which you kind of do that, don't you?
I do.
You do. I know. It's interesting.
I do. It's like my whole life.
Right? It's kind of crazy. So this one is the energy of duration. Kind of looks like a track, right? Like a going round and round and round the track, like a marathon. Well, that's what it is. You are here, kind of always feels like you're doing hard things, always doing things the hard way, because this is the number of endurance and hardship and overcoming hardship. You are here to overcome large, big, huge obstacles, and you do everything the hard way. Once you understand that you can unlock this anger, you harness your energy and stop rebelling, trying to kind of make everything hard, you actually become what we call a service soul. This is the number of over, like, you can do the hard things and deal with hard concepts. So somebody who has this number, you know, they could be a doctor, they could, because they're dealing with really big problems. All right. And they have the ability to handle big, big problems. And the last number, which is the final sign. If you have this in your chart, welcome. You're at the end of your incarnations. You're coming to a close, because this is 22 and this is reciprocity. It is self destruction, but it's self completion. It's the energy of ugly to beauty, and finding that your soul is inner beauty shared out, learning to feel beauty at all levels, learning to see the beauty in all things, learning to see the beauty in your challenges, no matter what you're doing. It's about not comparing yourself, coming to an end, seeing that your mind, body, and soul has always been connected to source, and that when you are disconnected, it's a very painful existence. But when you are connected and you reconnect with God, you are here to teach, speak, be a living example of higher consciousness. And April, that's exactly what you're doing, is it not? Where is she? Where'd she go?
I'm here.
You're here?
Yeah, I've always had my life be harder than it needs to be, but a gift that I have is helping people see a different perspective. Like I just invite them, like, can I frame it a little different for you? And then I do, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Because it's duality, right? You can make things hard, but there's beauty if you choose to look at it. It's this is working for you, not to you.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because this is a really powerful number. Have you been told you're an old soul?
I have.
Have you been
I
told you're
have a lot of wisdom that just naturally comes to me.
wise beyond your years?
Yeah.
Are people intimidated by your knowledge and your resources and your power?
I do intimidate people, but I do it because it shifts their energy.
Yeah.
So I've had people be like, you're intense. And I'm like, actually, I'm not. I say things, I think, with not force, but power. Like, it is like, I know. Or like I said, I speak things where it's like, oh, it makes sense. So yeah.
You know, it's interesting.
Huh.
Like you know this about yourself and you own it and you're like, okay, this is my power. But people can be intimidated by power. When you have when you have powerful numbers, the goal here is to know how to let people see that power, like, in progression, because what happens is you are a very wise soul, April. You are all knowing. You have a lot of wisdom and a lot of power, and you have a lot of authority. And people can sense that, and people can be intimidated by that because they're not at the same level. If you have a 22, you're pretty up there.
Yeah, I've always become like the leader,
Yeah.
but it's because I see the potential in others and I draw that out in them and I reflect it back to them. That's where they're like, oh, like I'm intense in that way, where they're like, really, you see that? I was like, I know it.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
And now you're getting to use that power in a beautiful way as you step into your spiritual business and you start to help people.
Yeah.
So that's really, I'm proud of you because
Yeah. I'm proud of myself because I finally woke up to my super pain has now become my superpower. And that's how I share it with other people.
Well, I hope that this was helpful. There's many different things I can talk about these numbers, but like I just want to make sure that you guys leave here with like a really kind of good example of what's going on with these numbers. Because if you want to get the book or you want to study this some more, you really have to know what the symbols mean. What would you say was a good takeaway for you guys? Anybody want to share what they can take away from this? Carrie?
I mean, no matter what our numbers are, this shit is empowering.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, like leaving this Zoom, just hearing all these numbers. I may not have that specific number, someone else has it, but it's just filled with so much power in it that I love it. I just love it. You spoke on 21, and the site that we pulled our charts from, I've used that 4 up for Bella,
Okay.
Gabby, and Josh. But Bella has that 21, so that really struck me there,
Yeah.
especially given, the recent events and stuff about.
Yeah.
So
So
this
the
shit's
21,
powerful, it's really powerful, and I can't thank you enough, Larissa. You just bring light to so much.
the 21 is going to go through some stuff. And
She's listening to you, by the way.
hi. So here's what I'm going to say to you. And what Carrie just brought up is that your soul has put these energies into your chart. These are your numbers, right? Because your soul wants to master that. Your soul was like, I can handle it. I'm going to give this a go. So it's not that you're being punished. It's not that you were a bad person in any other life. It's that you wanted to learn this. So when you have the 21, you say, man, I'm going to do things the hard way. I'm going to have endurance because you want to say at the end of your life, look at what I overcame. If it's there, it means you can do it. So if you have a 5-5, you can speak your truth. If you have an 8-8, you're supposed to help people with their emotions. You're supposed to feel your emotions. You're all emotional. If you have, the 11, you're supposed to have a center or be a teacher or be a builder or create a course or write a program. Your soul wants to do that. So it's not like this is a bad thing. This is a good thing. If you have a 13-4, your soul says, I want to love and I want to give unconditionally because I was denied that. Or if you have the 9-9, yeah, you went through some crap. You might have dealt with some abuse. You might have dealt with some, pain and relationships because now you want to teach people that they don't have to go through what you went through. It's interesting. I look at these numbers, and whatever your karmic number is, your physical karma, I want you to use that number on how you can bring aligned manifestations into your life. So, what do I mean by that? My karma is 5-5, which means I am here to teach, speak, and use my intuition. Okay, so let's say you're not Larissa, you're not doing any of that. What do I do with that? Well, maybe I'm going to go take a class on how to do public speaking. Maybe I'm going to get into theater. Your gift is your voice. Maybe I'm going to write music, write poetry. Maybe I'm going to, you know, join a nonprofit and speak on women and children of domestic violence because I want to help them. The gift is your voice. So use your karma and see what that is as your gift. Okay, so let's see. Wow, 48 comments. Whoa. All right, I'm looking at all of this. It's okay. I'm actually doing errands. Okay, listening. Very good. So here's the thing. I want to tell everybody that no matter why you came here and no matter what you got out of this, the goal is you are one step closer to putting the puzzle pieces together. Spirit doesn't speak to us in like, go here, do this now. It's breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs, follow the breadcrumbs, follow the breadcrumbs. So it's interesting because Lisa had a thought. She's going to work for this nonprofit. She gets on this webinar and I tell her what her karma is. She goes, you just gave me confirmation. So if you are confused, if you are unsure of what you should do next, ask your guides, ask your team, how do you want me to bring my gifts into this world? How do you want me to put this out so that I can heal the karma and I can help other people? And I guarantee you the answers will come. Okay? Any questions? No? BJ, go ahead. And Catherine, I think I saw your hand up too earlier. Did you have a question, Catherine?
Okay, I found my unmute. Okay. Yeah, I had a question-ish, comment-ish, because you did my chart. We did it last month. And you were adamant that my spiritual abilities got whatever, like I was going to go into the brick and mortar. And so I was like, I was listening to that and I was like, okay. And the more I thought about it and the more I reflected on it, the more it did not appeal to me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, what do I do with that? So in listening to tonight and hearing everybody else's path, and also because we didn't have time to break down into the symbols, we were so busy in my other stuff.
So
But
I'm trying to think about what I said. So I said that you were going to like an actual physical place.
my spiritual karma is 5-5.
Yes.
And my soul destiny was 11-2. And my spiritual talents 7-7.
Oh, yeah.
So you said, yeah, I was gonna, I'm a healer. I was gonna use those talent. I was gonna, and you're like, whether it's, you go do, open up a yoga studio or open up, a crystal store or whatever. And I was like, and I just thought about it and I was like, that does not appeal to me in the slightest. But as I'm sitting here and listening and thinking on it, I'm like, well, I maybe don't have to do it in the physical sense in a brick and mortar, even though that's what you saw, but I can be somewhere else and do it in a different way.
So here's my thing, okay?
That makes
Because you live in a digital world, to me, there is no such thing as brick and mortar can be, this is brick and mortar as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
But I know that if you have the 11-2, you're here to construct something based off of your truth so that other people can benefit from your knowledge and from your gifts. You are here to create some form of tangible product, service, or book, course. Maybe you want to do e-commerce of spiritual gifts. Maybe you want to sell crystals online. I don't know. It's not for me to do that, but I know that you have to create something. You must create something out of your truth. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. If, as you were saying things to others, it was starting to make more sense to me. And I was like, okay, I don't necessarily have to do it in the physical
Correct.
aspect per se, but and you may have brought up the digital thing to me as well. And I was just kind of like, I was like, that just
for a living now, Lisa. Yeah.
I was like, that just doesn't appeal. Like, I just want to travel. I want to travel. And I'm like, well, maybe that's.
Hold on a second. You just want to travel like as your job, as your career?
Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have a career.
So let me ask you a question. You just want to travel and you're a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Oh, wait, I just answered to Melissa directly. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, Melissa. I'm trying to answer to everyone in meeting. So this is where you can get the book, Center for Conscious Ascension.
Okay.
Or you can get it on Amazon. Okay. You can get it on Amazon. So here's the thing. So BJ just wants to travel. That's wonderful. How many people just want to travel? Okay. We can travel, but you're talking about a career. You're talking about my kids are getting older. I want to do something for work and employment. Well, if you want to travel, then you need to create a digital way of earning and receiving and creating income based upon this laptop, this computer, where it can come with you so that you can travel, so that this career can fund your traveling. Okay.
We do have the ability to do that now. My husband's going to be retiring in 7 years.
Gotcha. So then you can definitely do that, right?
And we're good.
Courses.
I don't have to work. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm 59. I don't want to. No, I'm.
So then, how many of you are in a position where, you know what, I don't have to do anything, which is a really good thing. You don't have to do anything. But this is about what do you want to do?
Right.
Want to do? And what do you want to be known for? So that's what I want to leave you with. I want to leave
Okay.
you with those questions of like, this is not about doing anything. This is about what's going to bring you happiness. Because you know what, BJ? You're home. You don't have to work. You can travel but the problem is she's feeling isolated. The problem is you're feeling bored. The problem is she wants connection, community, and be able to use her creative energy and her voice. So however you do that, even if it's 2 days a week, or maybe 1 day a week, or maybe you start a community online, or maybe you start like like any type of like organization or something, just something so you could be a part of something. That's what I'm hearing from you. You don't
Okay.
want a job. You don't need it.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't need to. No. And
But
the daughter's in
what if-
college, so
what if you got certified in this? What if you got certified as a divine healing expert and 3 times a week you did sessions and you had clients? Would that bring you joy?
yeah, perhaps.
I was a stay-at-home mom and I was a school teacher. And I was raising my children. And I was at the crossroads where, which is so funny because this was 2016. Carrie, what year did I teach Bella? What year was she in second grade?
Bella, what grade? How long ago were you in second grade?
I don't know.
She's an 8. Holy smokes.
2016,
A lot. I think so.
right? Yeah. Hold on a second.
Wow. I feel old. Time has gone by.
Wait, Bella, you're 14, right?
13 right now.
Well, she's
She'll
gonna
be 14 this
right.
year.
So 2025, take away
That's terrible. I
2016.
don't even know.
That's 9
What?
years, right? So 14.
That was
take
9
away-
years ago?
Yeah, no, she was in kindergarten.
Oh, no.
But not yet. Okay, so 2016, I was and in this crossroads, I was at a point where I was like, okay, I have to do something. I had little kids, I was raising them. I didn't want to go back to school teaching. I was awakening, and I knew that I had to learn something so that I can teach it and share it, right? This all started for me in 2016. I started with Reiki, then I went to Reiki 2, then I went here, then I went there, and it just grew and grew and grew. So you guys are at a crossroads where you have to learn something that you want to bring into this world. And the mind that created the problem is not the mind that will come up with the solution. But when you understand your gifts and you understand what you're here to do, now find a modality that can allow you to dibble dabble in that, explore in that. Because you know what, BJ, you're in a very lucky position. You can do anything, or you could do nothing.
Right.
To do nothing is
Yeah, you said is a waste of my
your spiritual gifts.
spiritual gifts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
That
that
would
made,
be a waste.
yeah, that made sense for a lot of other things that were in my reading. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Michelle, I have a question. What is your soul destiny?
My soul destiny is a 6/6.
Very creative soul. What do you do for a living?
I'm an accountant.
That's not creative. Although actually it is, because so a lot of times we think creativity and just painting and drawing, but you're a problem solver and you're using, right, creative solutions to fix people's lives, basically.
Yeah. No, I feel like I'm not a very typical accountant. A
Right.
lot of accountants are very and I'm very ADHD. I'm all over the place. And so it's important that I've got a good team that works for me that, you know, so but no, I feel like I feel like I'm pretty creative.
Yeah.
My job just doesn't reflect that, but I love numbers so much. I just align towards that. And so
What do you do for creative outlets?
I I start new things and then try to complete them. So like
When I said the 6/6 is ADD, you were like, yep.
that I was like, hello. but I right now I'm starting sourdough bread. Like I'm like all focused and obsessed on it. But then I've also gone down a rabbit hole of like wanting to homestead and like I'm kind of that's how I'm creative and like get that outlet.
Okay.
Is
Well, I do love a good sourdough bread. And you know what? Listen, it's a good business, but I'll challenge you is when you are creating with that 6-6 energy. I want you to establish yourself in the sense of like, okay, my destiny is to learn how to create a plan and not go on to something else until I see this through. And then I can make a decision if I want to keep expanding it or go on to the next. So for your sourdough, maybe it is I want to make 10, whatever the goal is. I need you to give yourself a goal and then don't deviate until you hit that goal.
okay. I and see, and I'm very good at like throwing in the towel on it because right now I'm trying to do sourdough and I suck at it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, screw this sourdough. But I want to accomplish like I want to do it. I don't want to sell it. I just want to do it. And so yeah.
So the goal of the 6-6 destiny is to set a goal for themselves and not give up until it's completed. So you have to stick to it because what you do one thing, you'll do all things. So if you quit on sourdough, you're going to quit on something else. And that's kind of the downside of the 6-6. So see it through, get that sourdough going, and then maybe share your journey or maybe research it or join a sourdough community. I don't know. My sister's into sourdough. It's like a big thing. People love their sourdough. I don't know. The
It is.
starter bread, right? All of that. So, but when you do it, you know what? I want sourdough. I'm going to buy it from you.
When I get good at it, I'll mail you a loaf. And thank you, Chris. I didn't realize that he was in the picture right here. And so I didn't, when she said your dog is beautiful, I was like, where? And I was like,
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that. Yeah.
I drove to
Aw.
the corner. So
Well, I just want to say thank you guys for spending an hour and a half with me. You could be doing anything. I'm sorry if I went a little over. As I do these webinars, I will get better and better. You know, this like so I have to come out of my comfort zone. I'm honored to just be on your journey. If you have any questions, email me. If message me, I'll get back to you if I can. And if you're not part of the membership community, I would love to see you in there. That's always a beautiful place. I think we have a 7-day trial for $1. And again, obviously there's readings. You're going to get the email. You'll get different things available to you when this is all done. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. So thank you for spending this time with me. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.